Sagittarian and not a Capricorn. Why do I say this? Because actually I was born in December first week, but not in January first week. Actually, my father made a mistake when, I'm not sure whether it's intentional mistake or it's just like really a mistake, because when my birth certificate was registered, it was like 1 month later. So I think it has something to do with the fact that my father and mother were not married. So during the time, that was 1980, so there's really a lot of biases against women who are getting pregnant without the, the blessings of the church, or without marriage. So I think that was a little bit, how can I say, unacceptable during that time in our community. Especially my father and mother were living in the same place, they were sort of neighbors. And yeah, unfortunately they didn't get married until my father died when I was 9 years old. But it's not really a regret. I know that my mother loved my father very much. And I don't know about my father, because I was too young to ask that sort of questions. And this may seem a little bit personal, but when I was 6 years old, no, six, when I was 5 years old, my father left my mother and yeah, lived with another family. So we had sort of like other siblings. So, but we really don't know about them. The only thing we know about them is that they look like exactly my younger sister Arlene, because they are also white and looking a lot like her. So, and the last time I checked, actually, when I remember correctly, when I was 9 years old, they were living in Angeles, Pampanga. So I don't know if you will, guys, if you will see somebody who look a little bit like me, but only like fairer skin, really white, and ask them if they know me, most probably those are my relatives. Those are my siblings. So I don't know, but yeah, it's still, this part of family is still very painful, because oh my god, I shouldn't say this. I think my relatives will hate me, but I will have it out. My grandparents didn't, up to their death, I think, I'm not sure, they didn't accept my mom as a daughter-in-law. But I remember when we were kids, we used to visit them during Christmas. And after death, supposedly we would receive inheritance from them. It's actually not much, because when they were living, they mostly sold their properties. But I don't know why they didn't give something to my father, because unfortunately my father died before them. So my father died in 1991, and my grandparents died around I think 2000. I'm not sure, I cannot remember the dates or the year. But yeah, and up to now we are still fighting to get some share out of it. And maybe you guys are asking why we are still fighting. But for me, it's just, since I am the eldest child in the family, I think it's our right. It may be something small, but it's my father's right to get something out, like inheritance from his parents, and it's our right to get it. So I'm not so sure, but this lockdown things happen, and supposedly we have to speak to the remaining uncles and aunts who are still living. But lockdown happens, and of course we stopped it. But at one point we have to see if we can still get, because that is something my father should get, and I think we should get. It's not much, most probably we will get like 200 square meter, you know, it's very small. But it's not about the size, it's about I think I must say the pride, or it's our right, you know. So I don't know, I will let you know, guys, because that's really a touchy subject actually. Maybe one day, yeah, I will be able to speak about it. But you see, my voice is getting already cracked. Okay, so random things number two. Number two is yeah, it's connected to number one, so it means really I'm older by 1 year old because of the mistake in my birth certificate. So I was born in 1980, not in 1981. But since in my birth certificate I was born in 1981, so I am born in 1981. But I'm celebrating my birthday in 19 I mean the original birthday, you know, 1980. So a lot of people actually are confused about it, especially those friends in Facebook, because they will see that I'm celebrating my birthday on December, you know, with some pictures, and then they say, "Hey, Arlene, but your birthday is next month, right?" I say, "Yeah, but that was a mistake." You know, so but it's nice, you know. I have two birthdays, so that is something like nice. So December I am normally celebrating with my family, and January I'm celebrating with my friends. So I have two birthdays, why not? And most probably I'm hoping to receive two times gift, right? But that never happened. Okay, next. Number three. So, you remember when you were kids and you have some sort of nicknames, you know, given by your parents, you know, like your mother or brother or something like that. So, my mother, yeah, used to call me Len when she is happy with me, you know, she's not angry at me. But whenever she is angry at me, then she will call me Amorlina. So, because my nickname when I was a child was Amor, it's not Arlene, it's Amor. And then they will put only like Lina because she's angry at me, you know. So the moment she called me by that name, then I know for sure that she's not happy with me. Okay. Next. I have two younger siblings, as I told you before. So I'm the eldest child in the family, and I'm 39 years old. I do hope that I don't look like 39 years old. And my sister is Eileen. She is 37 years old, single, with one kid, widowed. And my youngest sister is Rona. She is she is single. She has a kid, and she is 34 years old, you know. So both actually are working. My sister Eileen is working in a private company in our barangay, and it's just like few meters away from home. And my sister, youngest sister, is working in the barangay, like a barangay secretary or something, you know. So but yeah, I love them. They are my how can I say, they are my supporters, you know. Whenever I'm down or I need some help, I just call them and they answered right away. And okay, now I must say that they are my best friends aside from my husband. But when it comes to family, I think my sisters are my best friend, and I can count on them. Okay. Next, as I told you, my father died when I was 9 years old, and it was really a painful memory. And I think one time I have to let it go, and I have to forgive all those people who hurt us during that time. But I'm not ready yet. I think I no, I think I forgave them long time ago, but I cannot forget what happened. So yeah, maybe I have to let it go, because it's a burden to carry all those weights, you know. Yeah, I think I have to reach out to them, and I have to tell them that I forgive them, because yeah. It's not nice to have all this, emotional burden, It's killing people. Okay, then coronavirus. Okay, next. Um, as I told you, my father died when I was 9 years old, and then my mother, during the time she was a dressmaker, she used to sew children's clothes, but working like that, it's not easy. She has to work like day and night, that is until like 7 in the evening, and it's really very stressful, and she was really hardworking, and of course I have to study high school, right? So she really needs to provide for the family. So during that time she decided that she has to work overseas, so she went to Saudi Arabia and worked as a domestic worker for 12 years. That's why we were able to go to high school and college because of her. So for that, actually, I love my mother very much. So yeah, without her, most probably I will not be able to accomplish anything, because she really helped a lot. Okay, and next, yeah, it was not easy, because how can I say, yeah, although my grandmother owned like property, like two small properties, but people with no money during the time, we were really being looked down as poor people, and we really work very hard to make ends meet, and it's not easy to tell this kind of story. So what can I say? So yeah, my mother was working overseas in Saudi Arabia as domestic worker, and monthly she is sending money to us, so my grandmother was taking care of it. But as children, we were taught early that in order to survive, we have to help them, we have to support them. So that's why every weekends, like Saturday and Sunday, I will go to I will go with my grandmother to like local farmers that she knew, and then we have to get all the vegetables there. That was early morning, like 5:30 in the morning, and then we have to sell all the vegetables, So it's not a story, it's actually true. It happened when I was a child. So we have to walk, I don't know, like from one barangay to like two barangays, you know, just to sell all the vegetables, and after that it's already sold, though we have to walk back to the farmer and split the profit, something like that. So yeah, that was actually good. And because during that time as well, that was 1900s, right? 1980s, 1990s, 2000. So we still have a lot of rice fields during the time. Unfortunately, nowadays it's very seldom you will find rice field. But during harvesting time, after the farmers are ready with it, and they already bring all the pallets together and put it in trucks, then we will come, and we will discard all these rice fields with leftover of a palay, because when we collected something like maybe one sack or something, then we will my grandfather and my grandmother, they will dry it in the sun one more time, and then they will use their feet to like sort of take out this palay from the straw, and then they will again dry it in the sun, and then use this hollow or halo, this wooden halo, and then they have something like I don't know how you call it, like stone or something, and yeah, and we are cooking, they doing it by themselves, or when the nearby rice mill is open, then she will bring it to them, and that old man actually was very kind to her, and he would not let my grandmother pay for it, because he said it's okay, it's not that much, so you don't have to pay. And I also remember that um, because during the time I was living with my grandfather and my grandmother and with my aunt. She never got married, and with me, my two sisters, and one cousin who my grandmother adopted, and with my other cousin who my grandmother also adopted. So there are like 8 people in the house. And so of course, when my mother is sending money every month with, for example, like 3 kids are going to school, no, actually 4 kids are going to school, it won't be enough, right? So every month we have to go to this sari store in our neighborhood, and actually she is a cousin, or she's a relative of my father, and then we will get all what we need over there, and like what's missing, like coffee, some bread, some rice, and that stuff. And whenever my mom receives, grandmother receives the money from my mom, then she will go there and pay back, and it's a cycle like every month, so but yeah, luckily we have some people over there like them who's really helping us. So yeah, that's how life when I was a kid. It was not easy, but I must say it was also full of fun. So maybe that's the reason why I don't know, maybe that's the reason why as well I'm not really like other people who's so much into smiling and all that stuff, because I had a hard life, but life is what make it, right? So next, and because of that, I don't have my father. He died when I was 9. So luckily I was able to get a scholarship when I was in high school. I didn't have to pay anything until I graduated, and then in college I got also a scholarship. Unfortunately, I have to study to be a teacher, although I want to be something else. But for me, it's just like, okay, that is one step further, so I will do this, and let's see what will happen, right? So I studied in a private, actually a very private good school in Batangas City, St. Bridget's College. So I had a scholarship there for like 3 years, and then I have to stop because mom got into an accident, so she wasn't able to send money. So there's nothing, I cannot continue. So I had to stop for 1 semester, and then our college dean called me by my friend, so I had to go back to school, and they let me go on by a scholarship by the school, but I have to help out by the library. I had to clean, we have to do library stuff and that stuff. So it was cool with me, I don't mind. But my idea is I want to finish college, and that matters, right? So it's some sort of student assistant. It's not that much work because they have a lot of student assistant during that time, so it was pretty easy. And what I like more is, yeah, I was stationed at the library during the later years, like my fourth year. So I was really able to read a lot of books, during that time. So it was nice. And yeah, and I graduated college. I was able to finish it in 3.5 years. Maybe you're asking why, because generally teachers should finish college 4 years, but since my first year of college, I was studying always during summer breaks, like this April and May. So that's why I was able to still to finish everything required for me to graduate within 3.5 years. So that was very okay. And I specialized in early childhood education because I was like thinking that one point I want to have my own nursery school. That is still a dream, but I don't think now I have the resources to do it, and I think I don't have the time. And now I'm more focused about gardening and taking care of animals, our goats or chickens, and most probably when Oliver retire, we will move to another place, where there is a sea, and then it will be the two of us. So maybe a little bit rustic life, easy life, that you don't have to worry so much, about paying bills and that stuff. But we will see, okay? Another interesting, maybe it's not interesting, but for me, I never had a boyfriend when I was studying in high school and in college. I think during high school, I don't have pictures actually, but I had short hair. My hair is only like this, short, so I don't know whether you can imagine. Hair is short like this, and when you are poor and looking ugly, I don't think somebody will be interested on you. And anyway, during the time I was so busy, I was because yeah, we were taught to get up early in the morning to fix something to eat for school. We were taught to iron our own stuff, to go to school. We were washing our own clothes, helping aunt. So there's really a lot of work to be done. So I don't think, it's, I think, I don't know, I was laughing about when I was in high school that all my friends, they have boyfriends or they have suitors. I didn't have anyone, but of course, I had a crush during the time, but he was, I think that was my third year, he was very shy, and he didn't approach me, I didn't approach him, so what the heck, right? So but now I saw him, I think, when was I saw him like 2 years ago. He was fat. He didn't seem actually like that cute boy I used to know. So that was like, okay, I made a very good choice. Yeah. And college, that was that was busier because there's really a lot of paperwork to do, and like when I was working as student assistant, there was not no time left. Everything is spent on studying and working and going to church because we are required to attend mass. But during the time I was too religious that I am attending mass every day, like 6 o'clock, and my class was at 7. And I think during the time as well I want to be a nun. It's some sort of a surprise maybe for you, but I was thinking like, I will finish my course, my degree, and I will spend 5 years helping my family, and then I will enter the convent. But yeah, it didn't work out like that. So yeah, I was thinking I want to be a religious person, but unfortunately God didn't call me, basically because they said you have to have this sort of calling. I didn't get it. So but yeah, I have very high respect for religious people, for priests and for nuns, and they are sort of doing all these charity works. That's why for me, even I am not a religious person, I am so much into charity works. That's why when I was in Singapore, I joined this home, that is humanitarian organization for migration economics. And then when I came back to the Philippines after working in Singapore for 1 year, I was working with them for 3 years. We had a charity organization set up. It was Soho, Spirit of Home Scalabrini, something like that. And we were helping domestic workers who were abused by the employers, and via OWA or something like that. But unfortunately, I left them after working with them for 3 years because the salary was bad. It was way below the standard rate, and when you have a kid to send to school and you need to provide foods on the table, that was not enough. So even though I love working for people or with people, but it's not enough, then I said I have to look for another options, right? But I really do love helping people. That's why nowadays, my friends and I, actually 6 of us, we are helping indigent students enrolled in a private school. The school I went when I was in high school, we are paying their tuition fees and their books every year. So we started last year, so this is our second year in doing that. And yeah, unfortunately, you know, I approached my classmates in high school about it, but yeah, only few people responded to that call. So, and now with this coronavirus thing, so I'm not sure if they will still continue to support us, but I will see to it. I have a meeting next week about it, because the students, they need the sense of security that their tuition fees will be paid, and that they have nothing on mind except study, right? Because they have a grade to maintain. So I hope that, yeah, my classmates would really help out, but I'm not so sure, because everybody's affected by this coronavirus, and when you are not working for 2 months and you don't get a salary, that is another, yeah, that's another setback. Actually, it's not much. Every month we sort of paying, like for my case, it's like I'm paying for grade 10, so it's 1,150 pesos a month. So I'm not sure what would be for this next year, but we will see. So that is our plan. Actually, we want to help more kids sent to school, at least that they are able to finish their K-12 education, because the moment you finish your K-12 education, you can already work in shopping malls or something like that, or in manufacturing company. And yeah, if you have scholarship for college, then you can finish your degree. But we will not help, because college education is so expensive. And actually, I don't have a work, I'm only relying on my husband's support, and I have a kid to send to school as well. So I am relying only on him. So every little savings I made, I am donating to my scholar, so I hope that my husband will be okay with this, actually. Next, um yeah, I stopped after coming back from working in Singapore for 1 year. I was thinking, like, okay, maybe I have to upgrade myself. In that way, I'm able to get to teaching in other countries like Thailand. That's why I studied online, and I get 2 certificates for teaching English as a foreign language and teaching English as a secondary language. So maybe you're wondering why my English is that so bad right now, that I have problem with his and her, or was. It's sorry guys, I'm now in a mix up because of the medications I took for the last 3 years. So my oncologist warned me about it, that I will have problems with remembering and with language. So, but in a way, I think I'm still understandable. So that's why everything now is in English, and as well because I hope that my husband will see these videos, and then he will understand it as well, right? Because I have nothing to hide. And next, what else? Okay, you may be asking, what do you mean by you work in Singapore? What is it? Okay, so I got married when I was 24. Then I left my husband when I was 27 or 26, something like that. And I brought my son to my mom, and I asked her to take care of my son for me. And yeah, the original plan is I want to go to Dubai to work, but since the ticket is so freaking expensive that I have to pay like 60,000 pesos plus some sort of money funds, I was not able to come up with that. So I decided, okay, I will just go to Singapore. So I went to Singapore on tourist visa. That was my first time traveling, and thanks to my friend Ate Ana Ebreo, she helped me actually, like yeah, to buy tickets and that stuff. But yeah, it was good. And yeah, I went to Singapore on a tourist visa, and after 2 months I was able to find my employer over there. And I lasted actually like 9 months with her because she was very fussy, and she asked me to feed stray cats outside, which is not included in the contract. It's actually a violation of our contract. And I had to feed the cats like between 10 to 12 midnight, and it's just like 1 to 2 kilometers away from the house. Imagine me. So it was pretty dangerous, because as well, you may be thinking Singapore is a very peaceful country. It is, but there are also cases of rape. It's something you don't know, because it's not appearing on the news. But yeah, so because of this, and I was bitten by the cat once and all that, and then she was always very angry at me, something like that. And yeah, it was more about verbally and mentally abused, because she didn't hit me. So yeah, one night she was coming, and she said I have to pack my bags and I have to leave Singapore. And I was like, my contract is not yet finished, and if you wanna cancel my contract, then at least give me like 2 weeks warning, then I can find another employer. Because I told her I was coming to Singapore on a tourist visa. You didn't pay for my ticket, so at least give me some considerations in which I am able to find a new employer, because I cannot come back to the Philippines. My son is in school. I'm supporting my family. So how am I gonna do that? And it's not easy to come back, because during the time I don't have much money. I am sending all my salary to my family. So, and just taking a little bit off for myself. So yeah, but she didn't agree on it. And yeah, I decided to run away actually from her at the airport. It was such a drama. And then finally I landed into home. This it's a charity organization helping abused domestic workers in Singapore. And I stayed in their shelter for like, I ran away like September. I stayed there for like less than 3 months. And I filed a case against her. But it was no, she didn't get a penalty or something. She got only warning, something like that. Yeah. And she paid my ticket the second time. And yeah, I was sent to the Philippines, and then I started working for home via the Philippines. So, but what I'm trying to say is, during those times, Filipinos were abused by foreigners, by their employers in Singapore. And I heard nowadays that it's getting better. During the time, my salary was 350 Sing dollars times 33. That is like 15,000 pesos. Is it? No, I was wrong. Wait. 350 times 33, it's 11,550. That was 2007. And then nowadays, their salary is $600, so that's 19,800 pesos. So it's already increased. So, but yeah, in Singapore I learned a lot, and it was quite such an eye-opening for me, that I am able to see that the world is big. And if I really work hard for my dreams, then I can still be able to accomplish it. So something like that. And yeah, I was happy that I went there and got some experiences, even not all good. But yeah, I wonder now whether my employer is still alive, something like that. But it's okay. And next, what else? Yeah, something about my favorite. Actually, that's already number 12. So my favorite color is red. yeah, my favorite color is red. And yeah, and I love everything printed, you know. For example, when I'm buying a dress, I like it to be with small prints or with flowers, you know. I don't know, maybe it's because I like seeing nature in them, so that's why I'm doing things like that. Okay, so another funny thing about that is about myself is that I'm clumsy. So that is number 13. I am clumsy. And yeah, I have to watch out where I'm going because I almost slip up, like what happened here. You know, I was just walking on the other side of the pathway, and yeah, I was not really looking for 1 second, and then I slipped up, and then I got these wounds. And another interesting things about myself is I don't like wearing bra, or you know, luckily for me, I have small breasts, so actually I don't need to wear it. It's only like when I'm outside that I have to wear it, because I don't want people to be looking at me. I am not so confident about that. But when my husband is here, then sometimes I'm not wearing it outside as well, because I know my husband can protect me, right? So it's okay. But when I'm alone, basically I have to wear one. It's not because I like wearing it, but because I have to protect myself. It's not like I'm saying that the people outside are perverts or something like that, but I don't want to cause trouble for myself, right? And as the year goes by, I think people will look less to me because I'm getting older as well, right? Next, another thing that is number 15. I think we have to. It's 38 minutes already, and number 15 is I love watches. You know, whenever I'm outside, I also prepare looking at my watch to check the time than looking on my phone. So that is another thing. So I like watches, especially when they are um, easy. You know, like I like right now I have this watch where I have the bands like cloth that I can wash up when it's dirty, something like that. So it's actually good. And next, wait, I got a message from my husband. I have to check. Okay, next, maybe you noticed that I'm wearing my necklace, and I'm wearing some earrings, but that is very small. Yeah, I like to wear some sort of jewelries, and anything gold. I like yellow gold. I also like white gold, but for me, yellow. When it comes to gold, it's yellow, and I like having something on my wrist, as you can see. And last time I had something on my feet, but I didn't get any positive comment about it, so I took it away. But I basically love, the main point is basically I love to accessorize myself, especially when I'm going outside. But at home it's not much, because when you're doing some stuff, you know, when you are cleaning stall or raking the yard or washing dishes, that's why I'm also not wearing my wedding rings, because every time, you know, I felt like it's, yeah, it's getting all the scratches, especially when I'm washing dishes, so it's not good. Okay, next, I love, as of now, I love watching Netflix, and I'm always checking thriller action movies. It's really nice. And right now I am watching Border Town, so I'm thrilled and I'm hooked by it. Although I have to look at the subtitles because I don't know what they are talking about. And let's start with 20, right? Number 19. I have dust allergy. So my skin is quite sensitive, and when it's dusty, then I got a dust allergy. I have some sort of rashes all over my body, so I have to take over the counter antihistamine for that. And As well, yeah, whenever I go into small bushes, I have to wear long jeans or something like that, or jogging pants, because the next day I have all these rashes and it's felt so itchy and something I cannot tolerate because I will scratch on them, right? And last but not the least, that is number 20. I am very fussy when it comes to my hair, as you can see. And my hair, I am actually washing my hair every 3 days because I'm losing a lot of hair, and I'm doing hair treatment like uh, keratin treatment every 6 months because I have to protect my hair. I think my hair is my best asset, something like that. And as well, I'm very fussy when it comes to my feet, yeah, I am going to my nail technician actually once a month, but since the lockdown I have not been there for like 2 months, and so I'm doing it by myself. So sometimes I am getting some, yeah, the skin was off and it was painful, something like that. And last but not the least, I told you about it, that I'm very fussy when it comes to my teeth. That's why I'm so much looking for alternatives to whiten my teeth. So look, so I have not, I brushed it already in the morning, but I didn't use baking soda yesterday and today. So I'm limiting it only like 2 to 3 times a week, and alternately I'm using whitening toothpaste. So I hope it will work. And yesterday when I was by Watson, I was checking this from Perfect Smile, that you can gargle it and then instantly your teeth will become white. I don't know, I have not tried it yet, but I bought a box for like 32 pieces, like 159 pesos. That is okay, it's not expensive. So there you go, guys. Those are the 20 random things about myself. Actually, I list around 40, but it's already 44 minutes and it's already very long, and I have to feed our chickens because it's already 4:30 in the afternoon. So thank you so much, guys, for bearing with me, and thank you so much for watching me and watching every upload. So thank you for supporting me, and have a nice day, guys. Thank you. Bye.